The words that you choose to use are the most powerful tool that you have, and so many times people choose the wrong words. Welcome to Freedom Friday, where I talk about all of the shit going on in this country and what you can do to help fix it. If you're tired of hearing about the protests, or tired of scrolling through your social media and seeing posts about Black Lives Matter, well, newsflash, so are black people. If there wasn't an issue, we wouldn't have to raise awareness about it. This world isn't getting any worse, you're just now realizing how bad it is. Cultural competence is one of Missouri State University's 3 pillars, and as such, I've had the opportunity to attend a few diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I still have my internal biases. I am no expert in this field by any means, but this is one way that I thought I could help as an ally. So today I'm going to be sharing my favorite training that I've been to so far, which revolves around this book, 35 Dumb Things That Well-Intended People Say. And the whole concept of this book is the difference between intent and impact. So we're going to be talking about that concept today and giving you one more tool for your toolkit to go out and help make a change in this world by leading constructive conversations. Our words have such an impact in this world, and rarely do we ever understand our own influence. You could be affecting the relationships all around you without even knowing it. We all have our internal bias, and that's okay. The key is to first understand it, try to change it, and then when we eventually mess up, take the appropriate actions. I find that when you disagree with someone, their first instinct is to get defensive. Well, when they get defensive, they're resistant to change. So if your goal is to promote a change and someone gets defensive, you've automatically failed at that goal. You can't change people, but you can help them change themselves. Constructive conversations should be our goal. That's what's going to promote change within an individual. And here's one tool for your toolkit. When we're talking about intent versus impact, you have to realize that no matter how good your intent, your impact may differ. The typical conversation probably looks like this, where our intent is slightly different from our impact, but there's still quite a bit of overlap. We should strive for this. Our intent is 100% overlapping with our impact. Every once in a while, hopefully not too often, our intent flies over there and is significantly different from our impact. That's what we want to avoid. And if you're on the side of intent, there are 3 key things that you need to accept. First, words are important and you need to choose them carefully. Second, words can do harm despite your intent. And lastly, you don't get to judge your impact. It's something that someone else feels. Let's do an example. Some of my best friends are black, gay, etc. Well, the intent is probably trying to make them feel comfortable by building rapport with them, but the impact is probably them feeling like you're lumping them into a category. Are all white people the same? No, that's ridiculous. The same thing applies. So what do you do when your intent doesn't align with your impact? Well, step 1 is to ask. Without knowing your impact, which you can't know unless someone tells you, you can't learn from it. So step 1 is to ask. Step 2 is to listen. Without listening, you're not going to learn how you can change for next time. And step 3 is to apologize. And if you don't know how to apologize, watch this video. So I'm going to leave you with my 3 tips for creating constructive conversations. And tip number 1 is to listen. If people don't feel heard, they're not going to hear you. When people feel heard, they're more likely to hear you, leading to more constructive conversation. Tip 2 is to respond, don't react. When you lash out and attack, they get defensive, and then you've lost your opportunity for change. Breathe, analyze the situation, and then respond. And tip number 3 is to speak out. There's no conversation unless you start one. Action can break the cycle of ignorance. If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to be a part of our community, I'm putting out 2 to 3 videos every single week geared towards giving you tools to succeed. I'm proud of you, I love you, and I'll see you next time.